get it, 'cause I gotta get it. What's going on? This is your boy SB. So we are on the playlist of a national emergency, how we've been following all the stuff going on Amazon, the cutbacks. But in this part of the page, we're scoping back, looking at the bigger picture, bigger things going on. And for this one, we are talking about the insane, crazy rent increases going on across America. I started to notice this when I first moved to Arizona. I didn't plan to move to Arizona. This wasn't like a lifelong plan. It was actually a family issue that happened that caused me to move out here. So it wasn't even planned. But once I moved out here, I was looking to rent. I wasn't even looking to buy a house. It was just the fact that the plan that was in play, or the house I was going to rent out here, it just kept getting pushed back. So I was like, you know what? Let me start looking for a plan B. I was looking at other apartments, and this was only last year. I was looking at other apartments, and I'm like, yo, bruh, this is Cali prices. Like, what's going on over here? I remember back in the day when Arizona had prices that was like cheap, at least for renting. So then we fast forward to today. Rent is just about the same, if not more expensive out here. Oh no, it ain't more expensive out here than California, but it's expensive out here. But this is going on a national level. So they said 1-bedroom apartments, they're saying it's now at an average of $1,700 for a 1-bedroom. For a 2-bedroom, they said that it's $2,000 for the national average. And it's so crazy because I made that video about a month ago, 2 months ago, where I was talking about how people in the Amazon staff were shacking up to just survive as AMs. And it was all fun and games at that point. But when you look now, it's just going higher and higher and higher. And this is a part of the national emergency that I was talking about. This is going to be an issue because it's an issue now. I'm going to put some links in the description where you're going to see in different parts of the country, everywhere is going up. And with the higher rent increases, they're seeing a longer wait line for certain apartments. They're seeing a way higher demand than what it was, because a lot of people, due to the high interest rates with home, are coming out of that market, coming into the renting market. It's literally a storm as well going on in the rental area in our country. They were also talking about how there's 10 million people behind their rent. So with the national emergency that I was talking about, with all these different areas, with this one alone, if this continues to go up, and if pay doesn't go up, this is going to continue to be an issue. Because in one of the links I'm going to put in the description, there's a lady talking about how she has to now live in her car because her raises have not been going up with the prices of rent that was going up. And this took place out here in Arizona. And she literally has like a bed in the back of her car. And she's like, yo, it is what it is. What I got to do for me to continue to live, to live. But the thing is, that's becoming a trend. That's taking place a whole lot more all throughout the country. Like, this is a big deal. Either way, man, this is not a good look. This is crazy. And what really sucks too, I kind of talked about it in the other video about the pay raises. I was talking about the people from Amazon that came out to corporate, and now boom, everything's kind of going up. But forget just the job Amazon. Look at all the people who left certain places to come to like the Arizonas, to go to like the Texas and Austin, Texas. And now within 2 years, 60% increase, 50% increase. Like, it's crazy. Even some cities out here in Arizona, there's apartments, and one of the videos I'm gonna link below, these apartments were all in Arizona. One went from $800, they renewed their lease, that mug went to $1,300. One in Chandler went to $1,100 to $1,800. 1-bedrooms, and this is in Arizona. That's crazy. And in that video, in the description below, one of the guys that they interviewed, they were like, yo, it's taking 57% of my paycheck for me just to pay rent. And one of the things I was kind of looking like, okay, what is the mainstream saying? What's the government saying? Is this supposed to come down? Are they planning for this to come down? And I came across like a few articles where like, oh yeah, it's going high and we plan for it to increase even more, but it should come back down. But my thing is, like, history, we can kind of get a glimpse of the future by looking at past history. Has rent ever come down? Maybe I'm wrong. I've only been on Earth not too long, but from my history of paying rent, I ain't never had my complex knock on the door with a note. Well, they don't knock on the door. They come and leave them who leaves those notes? It be like 1 a.m. You just wake up. You come outside, just a note. Hey, your rent's being increased. Like, what? Who puts those notes? I've never caught the person putting that note in the door. They like ninjas. And I used to be in property management, so it's like, I never had to deal with that. But isn't that funny? I've never seen them do that. Even if you go inside, you just got home, you go out, just walked in the house, you feel me? Then you go throw the trash out, a note in the door like, yo, who put this here? Through all the notes that I've gotten in my rental history, I've never gotten a note that said, hey SB, we just want to let you know your rent will be reduced by $200 this month. What? Okay. Never happened. So is it going to happen now? Has it happened to you? Maybe it has happened and maybe I just haven't experienced it. And I've only rented until recently, and that's another thing. Like, I'm so happy I was able to get locked into a house during this time. And that was one of the reasons why that drove me to look for a house, because I was like, yo, if rent's already this high, there's chances it can go up. At least if I can get locked in a house, it's locked in. You feel me? There's no rent increase there. But man, for all you guys out there, what can you do? One of the things I would suggest, cut back on the spending. After seeing 4th of July sales, after seeing Prime Day sales, people are just spending like it's just the thing to do still. They were talking about like amusement parks and traveling is still up. It's like, yo, if you got it, cool, you got it. But they're talking about national debt, credit card debt, is all this stuff's at an all-time high. They were saying savings is at an all-time low. If that's you, if you fit that description, are your savings at an all-time low? Is your credit debt at an all-time high? Well, maybe you should take SB's advice. Listen, I'm taking this advice. I did this 4 or 5 months ago. You feel me? I ain't went out to eat since. You feel me? I would cut back on the extra spending. Definitely cut back on going out, at least until we start seeing some signs of things getting better. Like I said, this is a national emergency. I don't care what the news is talking about. It's too much going on. This is only part 2. I did the national emergency with the Amazon thing. This is the rent craziness that's going on. I got a few more things I'm going to hit on with this national emergency topic. These are only a few different parts. It's a lot going on. Now's not the time. I would encourage you to really save your money. It's time to run lean. My Amazonian folks, it's time to run lean. And also another thing that I would try to do, because this is what I'm doing as well. I'm not just saying this stuff like I'm some economist out here. I'm just doing things that I'm practicing in as well because of what's on the horizon. I'm cutting back the spending, right? Also, one thing that I think every one of us should do, we need to plan. If you're not planning right now, you're behind. You need a plan A, a plan B, a plan C, a plan D, at least to a cool L. You need to get at least to the letter L. You feel me? I'm trying to go as many plans as I need to, just in case. We're at a time where things are shaky. It's still supposed to be a whole lot more layoffs that are supposed to be taking place. I would really try to plan as best as possible. And when it comes to this topic, when it comes to rent and renting, I would be planning as well, because a lot of these people are seeing this on their renewals, especially here in Arizona. Well, it's national. I'm gonna put all these links below and look it up for yourself. You'll see. But everybody that's renewing their lease is seeing an increase. So what should you do? You should prepare for that. If you still got 6 months until your rent lease renewal comes along, you should probably start talking to the people. And 6 months is like, that's a long time. It's going to be a big change within 6 months. From now to 6 months further, that increase can jump further. I was going to say, ask them, hey, can I get an estimate on what this increase is going to look like by the time renewal comes? If they can say something today, in 6 months, it can probably be double that. Hopefully not. But the way that our dollar is shrinking, that could happen. It's a possibility. Plan for that. But at least get some type of rough estimate of where that is projected to be, so you can take action. I think the biggest thing is planning, so you don't have to be surprised. That is one of the biggest things. If you look at a lot of these stories, a lot of people are getting hit with this shock value because it's like they didn't know, like, yo, snaps, I just opened up my mail and I got to pay $700 more for rent. So now is more than enough information, more than enough awareness of this going on. So you need to be responsible to be aware of your situation. Go talk to your management. Don't be one of the people who just have their head stuck in the ground. I don't want to see anything because it's all going to hurt. Listen, if you do that, I think that's the worst thing to do, is not plan. I think that's the worst thing to do. Act like nothing's going on, because reality, you're going to meet reality. Reality is going to knock on your door, whether you're prepared or not. That's the scary part. So I think, yes, it's scary. Yes, it sucks. Yes, change is going to cause you to change. All these things are uncomfortable, very uncomfortable, but it'll be very uncomfortable if you don't know and you're not prepared. And then how can you prepare? If you got 6 months out, you know your rent increase about to be $500, $400, $300, whatever it is, you can start planning now. And I would put extra on top of that because our dollar is going to shrink, like I was just saying. And if it's a drastic change, you could start looking for another job. You can start looking or trying to start a side hustle legally, you feel me, to make up for that income that you're going to need in 6 months. Be proactive in this situation. It's funny because I've talked to people in Arizona that have their head in the sand. Very few. Most of the people, they're aware, they're trying to take these steps. But there's some like, oh no, there's not going to be any rent increase. No. It's like, okay, cool. If it's not, you're one of the rare ones. You feel me? Good job. But I think everyone should go find out. Go to your leasing place, your office, and ask them like, hey, what are we looking like? And just to be prepared. But this is a big thing that's feeding the next portion that I'm going to talk about in this national emergency. But if this continues to go up, everyone doesn't have family. Everyone doesn't have a cousin they can stay with, an auntie they can stay with, especially the people. It was such a migration that went on in our country when the whole shutdown took place. A lot of people migrated to these cheaper areas, especially the metro areas, but it's the metro areas that are now starting to climb up. So if their income doesn't climb up with that, it's like, imagine being challenged with rent in a place where you don't have no family, you feel me, minimal friends. If I would have rent when I moved out here, I would have been in trouble right now. I'd have been like, yo, this is, you feel me? I would have been dropping YouTube videos every day with 4-5 channels like, yo, I'm finna be a YouTuber immediately. But in all seriousness, the biggest thing that we can do is prepare. If you're still renting, prepare. Anyways, I wasn't trying to make that too long. It's your boy SB. This is a part of the channel which is going to be called the National Emergency. I'm going to try to do one video a week on this, touching each and every topic where I see a national emergency happening. This is definitely one of those areas. And what can be done? I don't think the government can do anything anymore. I don't think they can give out any more money. They gave out money, rental assistance. And even with that, I got to put that story in. I got to find it, hopefully. But there, look it up. There's a story when they were giving assistance to renters. Remember that? Most of that money, it was a high percentage. I think it was like 80% of that money did not get spent. And they were talking about so many people who put in to request it, who qualified for it, that got rejected. They don't know why. It said like unknown reason or something like that. So it's like, yo, what's going on here? This looks kind of deliberate when we look at this whole picture. Anyways, it's your boy SB. Be sure to like, be sure to subscribe, be sure to hit that notification bell. Got a whole lot more videos coming. Yes, this is my song that's about to come on off my new project. It's a motivational project. I'm tired of all the nonsense out there. I'm tired of all the drama out there. I'm tired of all the killing out there. I'm just trying to bring some positivity through the music, some inspiration. So go ahead and stream that. That's going to be in the description as well. This is your boy SB. Let's go.
Love, say I couldn't do it, but I did. Turn stacks to a crib. Yeah, going up, going in. Let them sleep, bedtime, tuck them in. If I'm alive, I'ma live. Mama said if you gon' do it big. Yeah, motivated till the end. Never break, never bend. Finna have them like, whoa. I knew him back then, he didn't came up like,